Madam Mayor, you're looking awful comfortable sitting there in the sunshine.
It's super nice out.
And I see you got your Tennessee orange on. That's good.
Ready to work.
So what are we doing today?
Today we are finally going to start painting these railings. It took quite a lot to get to this point today.
It did.
A couple of different runs for paint.
Yeah.
A couple of mess ups.
Yeah. So they miscolor matched it. We got all the way back with it. And the paint's not cheap. So you guys wonder, we are pretty cheap and thrifty with our money. We don't buy all the things that we put in our videos. We don't collect a lot of stuff to just sit around, but we will spend money in the right place. So this 5-gallon pail of paint, and I don't mind telling you, it's pretty pricey. I think it's pricey, but you don't have a choice. You got to buy good paint. So this bucket of paint you get at Lowe's is $250. And they mixed it 2 times, not once. Once we brought it all the way back, opened it up, and it was way too light.
It was gray. Forget about light. It was a whole different color.
Yeah, it was gray.
So she didn't listen at all, and she typed in a whole different color. And then she didn't put the color on the top of the lid, because if we would have seen it was gray, we would have never left the store with it.
The thing is, I even said blue. It's a dark blue. It should come out a dark bluish color.
So she didn't do it right. So we drive all the way back there and get more paint. And then the gentleman that was mixing that paint, you have to put in all the information manually, and he was off on one of the numbers by 1 number, and it came out too dark.
Almost black.
So that's another one they'll be discounting and putting on the shelf. But luckily we didn't drive home with that one. He caught it himself and said, this looks darker than what you're really wanting. So he had to mix it up again. So the third time is right.
I wonder if they'll have a meeting about that.
I do believe that will be their next employee meeting. The topic of the meeting will be
paint matching.
Paint matching and making sure you're doing what you're supposed to, because that has to cost the store a lot of money.
That's $500 in retail sales that they lost.
In one day.
Yeah, in one transaction, really, 2 transactions. They'll get some of that back when they discount it and put it on the,
and some
paint lot, but
2 people are going to get a great deal on these buckets of paint, because they at least usually reduce them by 50%, I believe.
Yeah.
So they might pick up a nice gray color for $125, and someone else will pick out almost black one for $125.
Yeah, so we asked people to chime in when we were pressure washing this deck to chime in on what they thought the colors should be. And we got a whole bunch of all natural colors, and different types of ideas, but the one we're going to go with, and the one that I think that was most prevalent, that most people said, was to leave the deck a natural color. So we did pick out a stain that they had. Oh my gosh, it was cheap. How much was it?
It was on clearance for $15, when originally those cost, I believe, $62 for a gallon.
Yeah, so we got 2 of those. We think 2 gallons will cover the deck. We'll do the outside decking first, and then we would do the under the porch decking.
But that one is actually a very light gray.
Yeah.
We were going to go natural, but what
with
a price difference with that clearance. I said, I think we could get away with doing that light gray. It doesn't look bad, and that's quite a savings.
Yeah, so we opted for the savings over the perfect color that we wanted, but it was close. It was close enough. We were willing to negotiate or give or compromise on the color a little bit for the price.
It's a very, very light gray, so I think it'll look nice. And it, again, $15 versus $62.
Yeah,
kind of a no-brainer for me.
Correct. And so the color that we're going to paint the railings, that's the top rails and the slats, is going to be the same color as the cabin you see here. So we're going to keep that color. We didn't want the rails to contrast. We wanted the rails to blend in, because rails aren't attractive. The decking is what's attractive. So we want the rails to kind of blend to the house. And at the same time, the part that was never painted, like some parts of the other side of the house weren't finished, so we had to match the house. So it was imperative that the paint match the house. But all of this never has been painted. So we're going to be painting all this trim too, and this door and all this. And it'll be fun because when we get around the back, we'll be painting all that trim work there too, way up in the air. So we'll have to figure that out. But we're going to start with these outside railings.
Yeah, I even got my hair did special just for the occasion.
Yeah, so we got on some old shirts, both of us do. Here, show my shirt. These are old shirts I used to paint and cut wood in and stuff when we were back in Florida. So it's like, why put on your good stuff?
That's
So
right.
I had a couple of shirts. And then
It's already broken in.
So hers just happened to be orange. It's not actually a Tennessee orange, but it's got to be really close, huh?
Can you see me now?
I can see you from way away, far away. So we're going to get busy on this paint. And
yeah, we lost enough hours today. Thank you, Lowe's.
yeah, we lost a lot of time today.
And gas.
So there's our color match that they came up with. And it does match the house, and so we're happy about that.
Yeah, they can refund your paint money, but you don't get a refund on your time or gas.
That's right.
So, time to get crack-a-lackin'.
Yep, we'll get going. So, how's it coming?
Well, I feel like a Smurf. I've only painted myself a little bit, so that's good.
Yeah, I got a little bit on my hands too there.
Oh, it looks like a lot of it.
Yeah, I'm not being as careful, I guess. I am trying not to get paint on my shoes, but
You gotta have some kind of goal.
that's right.
But this wood is thirsty.
Yeah, it's drinking the paint.
It's soaking it up.
Yep, you can see it down there a little bit,
And I think we way underestimated how much time this will take.
I think we did too. So we're trying to get all this painting done before we leave for an adventure. We'll see how that goes.
Better be serious.
I think with good
Crap
weather
is wet.
tomorrow, though, we'll get the rails done tomorrow. But we'll see. So here's what we got done so far. Check out the rails. And you can compare it to the old ones here. See the old color and the new color? It's in the afternoon, as you can kind of tell by the sun. It's starting to cool off a little bit too. I think we got up to 64 or 65 today. It was nice, but when that sun starts to break the horizon, it gets cold quick. But we like it. So it matches the house. So they got the paint right finally. And we're just painting the rails and the vertical slots. And the deck itself will be a little darker than that natural color, but lighter than the blue. More of a gray. Almost the color of those rails behind Therese there will be the deck color.
We'll definitely finish before we hit the road, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll finish before that.
If we gotta paint in the dark.
I don't think it's supposed to rain until next, can't remember now. Thursday. I hope it's not Tuesday. I hope it's Thursday. I think we'll get it done.
We got time change coming up soon. That'll be great.
Oh yeah, time change. So the rails do go all the way down to there. And we do need to paint the back, but that's not what we're trying to get done before we leave. The railings and the porch deck is more important because it's open, exposed to the weather, more so than the back of the house. And all of this here needs to be, a lot of it needs to be repaired or replaced. So we're not painting lattice. We're just painting the rails, the railing. I guess that would include the top board and the vertical boards.
If I paint my hair, it could be like Marge Simpson.
It could
What do
be.
you think?
Yeah.
That could be the look.
Well, top of the morning to you.
Yeah, we didn't finish yesterday, so here we go again.
So we're on day 2, but yesterday really wasn't a whole day committed to it. We did about 3 hours.
Yeah, since we had that kerfuffle and had to go back and get new paint, that kind of wrecked the painting day.
It did, but we have all day today, and it's still late morning. So we've started earlier. It's warmed up. It's probably close to 60, should be 65 today. It's going to be gorgeous.
So our goal is to finish today?
At least get the rails done today and start on start on the deck.
Okay.
But the deck's a different color. So, yep. So that's what we're hoping to get done today.
We still got to do a measurement for some new lattice over here.
Yeah, we got a lattice project to do, but that's not part of our immediate goal.
Yeah.
Our immediate goal before we hit the road is to just get this, get the open wood protected.
Right.
So that's our goal. So we'll get started on this rail. If you want to start on this one and work your way toward me, and then I'll start down on the ground and make my way up. Now I already started a little bit right there, but I just got started. Well,
hopefully you don't paint any more of yourself or your clothes today.
I probably will though.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe I should have used me as a brush, paint myself and then roll around on the deck.
Pretty much. When we were in Shady Oaks, most of Brett's clothes were the green color. Everything was painted in Shady Oaks, and now I guess you're going to have blue.
I'm going with blue. Yep, blue is the theme.
Papa Smurf.
So, how's that painting come along?
It's coming.
It is.
To that point where all I can see is blue.
So this all here, this trim, if you remember, none of that was ever painted. So I think it kind of ties it into the house. It looks really nice. Now we got some fine brush painting to do. And maybe that bottom one has to be fine brush because we're trying not to get paint on the deck. Trying. There has been drippages here and there.
But I still haven't been fired. I've been trying to get fired.
It's hard to get fired at this house.
Oh, man.
Watch your back. You're going to be leaning up against paint.
My back is screaming at me.
Yeah, we're about to take a lunch break here.
My back wants to know why. Why am I doing this?
Right. I'm going to walk down this and show people the rails. I think they look really nice. This lattice, once it gets replaced, it's going to get painted the same color. But we're not worried about that right now. That'll be another project. So hopefully we got paint left over. But we did all this on both sides. I had to get down in the cedar tree, and me and Therese would trade off paint brushes. She'd put paint on it and I'd grab it and give her an empty one, and so we got the other side painted too. So we painted some areas that weren't painted before, but it'll help protect the paint. And then did the rails all the way down. Again, on the lattice, we will be painting the lattice and all that trim at some point. But our priority really was to get the wood that's exposed first. So I'm out on the ground now. Now you can see the paint job, I guess. And it's not perfect, but I'll tell you, all in all, it looks really good, and it matches the house nicely. And so all the thin lattice on the screens here will be all painted blue, and that'll look nice. And I'll show you around here what needs to be painted. So I'm hoping we have paint left, because we really need to paint. Like you can see some spots that were missed there. So we'll get those. But over on this side of the house, there's parts of the house that didn't actually get painted. You can see the difference right here. See the duller color and then the blue color? It's like a gray, like he ran out of paint over here. So we're going to get all this painted, and I can reach this with the ladder. And I can get this part of the chimney with the ladder. It looks like this outside part did get painted. The hard part to paint is going to be up there. The side right here. That's going to be hard to paint. We haven't figured that out yet, but we'll get there. Let's see. Did this whole wall get painted? I think it did. Looks like it did. And then if we walk around the front of the house, I thought there was some other patch over here that had not yet been painted. And this is an azalea bush that Therese trimmed on pretty heavily. Looks like it's coming back pretty good. Oh yeah, here it is. I don't know how this little spot got missed. You see the gray and you see the blue. So we'll come back and catch that. I might can even catch that today if that's just standing by itself. And you can definitely get that to that with a ladder. You can see here the new windows that got put in. And the face of this board might have to get painted too, but I don't know if that'll be a before we leave project. But do you see the chimney there? The front facing part of that chimney? Right here, this part. It looks pretty bad. It needs to be painted. But it's getting full sun on this side, so that's why that paint's chipping off like that. So we'll have to find a way to get up there. Haven't figured that out yet, but we will. Then all this lattice will be painted. And this. There's a fair amount of storage under there, but we have enough inside enclosed storage that I don't think we need to encompass this outside graded storage with anything. Also today I wanted to get this wood moved up to the back of the barn. I had it stacked up nice there. It looks like the wind blew it over. But we'd like to get that put up there and get a tarp over it, or I might use some of this tin and build like a little, maybe a lean-to or something for that wood. So what'd it be looking like?
Like it's time for a break.
You ready for your union break?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure, I've missed some spots, but it's like at that point where I can't tell anymore.
Yeah, it's hard with the sun to tell if you've painted it or not. And this whole bottom I haven't gotten yet. That requires somebody to sit down and scoot across. But we'll get it. We'll break for lunch. And then I didn't get these spots with the hinges because I want to pull those hinges off, paint them, and then put them back on. Whew. All right. We'll call it lunch.
Yay.
Let's do some lunch. Alrighty, well, we're back at it on day 3 of the painting.
And you thought this would just take a few hours.
I did, kind of, but you know, I know once you get into it, you do this, you do that, because we had to do some minor repairs with nails and screws and whatnot. I'm always saying whatnot. Is that a sign that we should be doing whatnot?
I think you just never realized how much you said it before.
I know, until they came out with a platform called whatnot. Now it's like you buy a Jeep and you realize everybody else has one too. Anyway, back to the painting. So I've removed the door and I placed it inside on the table there, and Therese is going to, with a small brush.
Is this the job you're assigning me today?
Yes, if you would be
I'm
so
doing
inclined.
all the small brush work.
Yes.
Ah.
At least there's not a lot.
Well, there's more than you think, to be honest.
Oh, you want to get the top boards of these rails, like right here and stuff, where it's not, the big brush didn't get in?
Well, you have to get all this bottom piece on all of them.
Yeah, okay.
And just looking now, I can see some spots
a few
that were
spots
missed.
got missed, yeah.
Because towards the end of the day, everything looks blue and you can't really tell what you're doing
It's kind of hard. And you can see in the creases there's some
we have
gray.
to go through and do a big once-over before we start painting this floor.
Yeah, because this is oil-based paint, so we bought some mineral spirits to clean the brushes, and we don't want to have to go back and forth with that.
Well, you're lucky. Today I'm even wearing my glasses. So
all right. Maybe you can see it better than I can.
Maybe I could see these little areas that I have to do and all the spots we missed.
So I think it's looking nice. The trim looks really nice blue. It kind of sets it off. It was never painted, so it does give it some protection.
Yeah, I see at the top of this board we need to hit.
Yeah.
You might as well just hit that whole board and right here.
Yeah, I thought that would look better if it was blue too. So I'll hit those two. I'm going to be hitting the bigger areas. So these, I'm going to get a ladder, go on the other side of the house, and I want to get this top corner up here that was missed and the front right corner of the house that was missed. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do with the big brush so that we can clean them up and then transfer them to the deck paint.
Yeah, maybe this afternoon we can even start on the floor. We'll see. It's
yeah,
supposed to be cold the next 2 nights in the 20s.
It is. It's supposed to be cold, so
we'll see.
We'll see. It's already, I mean, it's not getting very warm today. I don't think we're going to hit 60.
No, it's a little chilly. There's a nice little breeze, but there's still enough time, and it's warm enough that this will dry up before nightfall.
I think so, yeah.
So,
So I'll just have, if you would, hit those trims, and then over here, hit this trim. Try not to, if you need me to remove this buckle, I can.
do it.
Okay, I'll take those out.
Why even play with that?
Right. I'll take all this out. You can just, you know what looks good. I don't need to tell you. So anyway, and then here's the door. And I did already hit it with the big brush, but you can't really get up against the screen with the big brush. You make a big mess. So she'll finish up here what I didn't finish with the smaller brush. And I'll be working on, in fact, right over here is where I have to paint, right around the corner. So I need to get me some kind of ladder. I'll probably get the large A-frame ladder.
Stick it in the hole?
Yeah, stick it in the hole and see if I can reach it from there before I bring out the big ladder. So I'll get started on that, and
Another day of fun here.
we should finish up with the blue today.
Okay.
So that'll be good.
That will be good. So
So
we can look at a whole new color.
looks like we're gonna have like half of a 5-gallon can left, but it's okay because there are parts of the house that we want to come back and hit later, like the front
Those high
eave boards. Yeah, but that's
The
another.
chimney.
The chimney still needs painted, but we're not trying to do that before we leave. But we got to figure out how to do the logistics on how to get to it.
I know.
I'm
not looking forward to
that's
that.
another step, another day. So we're gonna get these done today, and see where we're at on the clock as far as time.
We got a week with a big list of stuff, and I don't know if we're going to make the cut on everything we have to get done.
Right, so we can't get too hung up on finishing all the painting in its entirety. What we're trying to do primarily, we have to prioritize our painting, is to get the outside wood protected before we take off.
Yeah, so probably inside the screen room and the floor probably won't get done. But
Yep.
unless we drink a lot of espresso.
Hey, unless we get bored, the
maybe.
weather changes, whatever. But this is protected from the sun and rain, so
If we can finish it, we will.
correct. But we'd like to get this part, and then of course you got the landing all the way down the stairs. You got that landing, and then all the way down those stairs. So that's quite a bit. But we'll see how it goes. First step, blue paint.
All this trim work.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
and we may even have to wait a couple days as we're going to be cold, and if we don't get to the decking, we might have to get to it next week.
We'll just switch up projects.
Yep.
Roll with it.
Roll with it. Alrighty, we'll check back with you. So we're back at the painting. And we're kind of racing time because we have a big storm coming tomorrow, and we would like to get this wood sealed up. At least the most we can, the best we can. So we started, this is kind of a natural look stain. It's pretty watery and it's not going very far. The wood's just soaking it right up. This is the color of it, this lid here. It's kind of a gray. We're going to let it dry, give it a few days, a week, whatever. And if we don't like the color, which right now we're not sure. We're kind of on the fence about the color. I think it needs to dry first. It just looks wet. It doesn't really look gray. But if we don't like it, then we might just cover it with the blue, or we might leave it. We don't know yet. So I did this half here so we would have a dry area to get into the house and let that dry. And then we'll do the other side. So I'm working my way across the top here, going this way toward the door. And Teresa's working down there on the bottom level. And it looks like she's about a third of the way down her paint can, and I'm almost halfway down my paint can. So it's really not going very far.
We're gonna need more paint.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need more paint.
This stuff is soaking it up.
It is drinking it like nobody's business. But it's looking good.
Yeah, I still think I would have liked the natural one.
Yeah, I think a natural color would have been better.
Yeah, but we'll live with it.
We'll live with it.
I'm not painting it blue. I had to get used to the color of this blue house. We'll just get used to the color of this.
Okay. We just want to get a protectant on this wood, because as it is, I don't know that it was ever had any protectant on it. If it did, it was clear. So we just want to get some kind of protectant on it. And I think this will lighten up when it dries. The sun's working on it. So I'm just going to keep on working away and we'll see how far we get. We only bought the 2 gallons of paint, so if we need more, we'll either have to run to the store or we'll be in town tomorrow. We can pick up some more tomorrow, but tomorrow's weather is not going to be conducive for painting.
I think I like it so much I painted my shoe.
Yeah, she painted her shoe, so I set it over here in the sun to dry.
It'll have that nice weathered look.
That's right. So it is a beautiful day. It's still on the chilly side. We should get in the 60s, possibly 65, fingers crossed. But tomorrow, the bottom's supposed to fall out. We're supposed to get a big storm, high winds, 30 to 50 miles an hour, so it's not going to be good for painting. So we want to get this done before that front comes through. And we're going to get dumped with some water. I don't think it's going to hurt the porch to get wet, but it would be better if we can get this done before the storm comes. So that is the goal. And I don't think we're going to paint under here at all. In here, I can show you, we painted one side of the door, and that looks nice. I really like the way that's set off. But inside, we decided we're not going to, these 2x4s we're not going to paint, the ceiling we're not going to paint, and the floor I don't think we're going to paint. We're going to leave it natural wood looking when you're inside, because I just think it contrasts to the blue.
You're not going to seal it?
Seal the door?
The floor.
I couldn't hear you.
The floor.
Oh, the floor. I don't know.
We should have bought that $15 markdown can of the other one.
Yeah.
For the floor in there.
The floor in here is kind of protected. I mean, I don't know. We may. We'll just wait and see when we get to that point.
If they still have that $15 can of that natural looking color, which I doubt they will, I'll pick it up for the inside.
Oh, so you don't want to, you want the inside to be different than the outside?
Maybe.
Oh.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll have it anywhere. I should have just grabbed it that day.
Okay, well, we'll see what we're doing in here. But we're going to stick with the natural look, whether we paint it or not. We're not going to make it blue in here. It'd be too much blue. But out here it looks great. I really like it. So we'll get back to work here because we're going to be out of paint soon anyway. Get back to work here, then we'll give you another update. Okay, so as you come out the door, here's where we're at. The clear path is still the natural wood because we left ourselves a path to get out so that the rest of it could dry. So we've not yet done this. This little strip right here is some wood filler. We actually created some wood to fill the spot because it was a real deep divot. And it expands as it dries. We just literally did that 5 minutes ago. So we're going to let that dry. And then we'll be able to paint over it. We haven't gotten to these yet. The landing has not been done, but all that's been done. All this over here has been done. What do you guys think of the color? It darkens it, but it's a protectant. So it's kind of like a Thompson's water sealant, but it was a little cheaper because it was $15 a gallon.
It was a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
It looks better, I think, now that it's dry. When it was still wet, I was like, I don't think I really like it because it looked very dark.
Yeah.
But as it's drying, it has lightened up, so I'm okay with it.
It kind of looks like a, almost like you're by the ocean. Like a wind battered, saltwater battered cabin on the, on the ocean. So it goes with the theme. It'll work. I think it would look, it'd be too much to make it blue. It'd be too much blue.
It would be. Way too much.
And we needed to protect it with something.
And I think that as you walked on it, it probably would wear the blue away and then you'd be upset because it would be an uneven type of color as well.
You would see a wear pattern. Yeah.
But I think it looks great. I do think, though...
So here you can really see the contrast.
We need to pick up 2 more cans of it.
Yep, I think we need 2 more cans.
Hopefully they'll still be there.
Yeah. It is a going out of stock item, so we need to get it while they have it.
Yeah, it's on clearance.
So I think 1/3 of a can will finish this. And then underneath there will be a can and a half roughly. And then there's a little bit on the other side. I don't want to walk on here, I'd show you, but there's a little bit on the other side of the screened-in porch that sticks out about a foot. In a previous video, I was walking on that ledge. So that needs to be protected too. So we need to get that. So I think 2 gallons will get it. Yeah. And if we have any left over, it won't be much.
No.
So.
And tomorrow we'll be running around doing errands and doctor's appointments finally. So we'll go get those. It'll be bad weather, so we can't paint anyway.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of the week, we can finish this up.
That's right. So we're almost there. Probably one clip from the end.
And then we can finally hit the road, right?
Yeah, let's hope so. I'm ready to go.
All right, well, we finally finished painting the deck. We have a few touch-up spots on the rails for another day whenever we decide to finish painting the rest of the house blue. But overall, it came out pretty good. We still have a few little wet spots here because we didn't leave too much to do for today.
Yep.
So, but overall, it looks really good. Way over there is pretty dry. Not that you can walk over there because you're kind of stuck with this wet section in the middle.
Yeah.
But
I can probably step over there. Hold on. Woo.
But it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's really dry out here on the... This must get more sun over here.
Yeah, and these boards were super thirsty, so it did take a lot of paint. Luckily, we grabbed the last 2 buckets of the clearance paint this morning.
Yeah.
And we have 1 left as an extra. We decided not to paint the inside here because I think it might or might not take more than 1, but once you're in...
Yeah, you're in it.
And it's a discontinued color, so if you start it, you're not going to be able to find it anywhere.
Right.
So, I don't know, it looks pretty good. Those boards don't look thirsty, but again, you're taking a gamble.
Right. If you start it, then you might have an unfinished.
And I've never been a good gambler.
That would look terrible. So we're going to leave the inside unstained. It kind of makes it look like a separate room anyway.
I mean, that's the coloring in there is really what I would have loved out here to look like. But that's the difference. If you don't protect your wood from the get-go, you can't get back to that unless you buy that kind of color stain. And for the price of it, oh, that was just a lot of money.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll keep an eye on the clearance big buckets for the future, and maybe there'll be a decent stain to do it in next time. I don't know how often you have to stain and do all that, but I'm sure it doesn't last more than a couple of years and you got to do it again.
Yeah, and we don't know when or if this was ever stained out here. We don't know.
Yeah, I would highly doubt it by the looks of it, but I don't know.
It's pretty weathered looking wood, but it's in really good shape as far as when you walk on it. It's sturdy. Yeah. It's not about to break through or anything.
I think this wood will last years to come. But I would say if we run across any good color stain on clearance in the future in a big bucket, grab it up, because the next time you'll use that whole 5 gallon and you can do the inside as well, probably.
Yeah, so we finished all this outside, and we were kind of we kind of wanted to hurry up and get this wood protected because we had it all stripped. And so it was unprotected. So before the rain and the summer heat gets here and warps the boards more, and the more rain gets in them and rots them, we wanted to hurry up and get something down. And we have a storm coming in today. As you can see, Teresa's hair is kind of windy, but we're having wind gusts from 20 later on all the way to 60 miles an hour. So there's a huge front coming through here that'll be here by nightfall. So we kind of wanted to get this done in the morning. We didn't know what the sun was going to be like. It's kind of a partly cloudy off and on with the sun. But I think it'll get this dry enough. It's tacky already. So we wanted to get it done, get it finished, wrap up this video.
It'll dry in time. And I can tell you one thing for sure. Even though the price of stain and paint and all that is high, it's way cheaper than replacing all this wood.
It is.
Because if you've checked the prices on wood lately, very high.
And
I mean, everything on the planet's high right now, but you got to juggle. And I need some egg money. I got to keep some money.
That's right.
I love me some eggs.